The kingdom was healing. The people, weary from the turmoil, were beginning to rebuild their lives. The air was filled with a sense of cautious optimism as families and communities came together to mend what had been broken. Scars remained from Absalom's revolt. The land bore the marks of battle, and the memories of conflict were still fresh in the minds of the people. The wounds, both physical and emotional, were deep, and the process of healing was slow and painful. David, weary but resolute, returned to Jerusalem. His heart was heavy with the weight of leadership and the losses he had endured. Yet his determination to restore peace and stability to his kingdom never wavered. A fragile peace settled, a peace easily shattered. The city, though calm on the surface, was like a pot ready to boil over. The tension was palpable, and everyone knew that it would take only a spark to ignite the flames of conflict once more. From the shadows, a figure emerged. This figure, cloaked in mystery, moved with a purpose that was both unsettling and intriguing. His presence was a harbinger of the turmoil that was to come. Sheba, a Benjamite, a man of ambition and cunning. His eyes gleamed with the fire of ambition, and his mind was a labyrinth of schemes and plots. He saw opportunities where others saw only obstacles. He saw not a kingdom united, but one fractured, ripe for the taking. The divisions within the land were like cracks in a wall, and Sheba was determined to exploit them to his advantage.
He whispered promises of a return to glory, a time before David. His words were like honey, sweet and enticing, drawing people in with the promise of a better future.
Sheba, with a serpent's tongue, sowed discontent. His voice was a weapon, sharp and deadly, cutting through the fragile peace like a knife. He appealed to old grievances, fanning the flames of resentment. He spoke of past injustices and unfulfilled promises, stirring up the anger and frustration that lay just beneath the surface. His words found fertile ground in the hearts of those still nursing wounds from the recent conflict. The people, still raw from their experiences, were easily swayed by Sheba's rhetoric. David, the once unquestioned king, was now a target. His authority, once absolute, was now being challenged by a man who saw an opportunity to seize power. The stage was set for a new conflict, one that would test the very fabric of the kingdom. Sheba's rebellion spread like wildfire. He offered a compelling narrative. David, the hero, had become a tyrant.
The Israelites, weary of war, were easily swayed. They yearned for a simpler time. Sheba promised them that.
His rebellion was not just a challenge to David's throne, it was a challenge to his legacy. The Israelites, their loyalty wavering, flocked to Sheba's banner. David, once revered, was now denounced. The kingdom, so recently reunited, was on the brink of another civil war. The situation was dire. News of Sheba's rebellion reached David. Betrayal cut deep. He had fought for all of Israel, yet now they turned against him. But amidst the darkness, a beacon of hope remained. Judah, David's own tribe, stood by him. Their loyalty was unwavering.
They had not forgotten David's leadership, his victories.
David, heartened by Judah's loyalty, rallied his forces. He appointed Amasa, a skilled general, to quell the rebellion. The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the fate of Israel. Amasa prepared for war, but Joab, David's loyal general, shadowed him. Joab, a man of action, saw Amasa's appointment as a threat. He had served David faithfully, ruthlessly. He would not be replaced.
As Amasa assembled the army, Joab approached him, a sinister glint in his eyes.
With a swift, brutal stroke, Joab killed Amasa. Loyalty for Joab meant eliminating any threat to David, even a perceived one. He assumed command, his loyalty unquestioned, his methods brutal. Section 5, trapped in Abel-Beth-Maachah, a city under siege. Sheba, with his growing army, sought refuge in Abel-Beth-Maachah, a fortified city. Joab, relentless, pursued him. He laid siege to the city, trapping Sheba within its walls. The siege dragged on. The people of Abel-Beth-Maachah, caught in the crossfire, suffered. Inside the city, fear reigned. Sheba, the self-proclaimed liberator, had become their captor. The citizens, desperate for an end to the siege, faced a terrible dilemma. She saw the suffering of her people, the futility of Sheba's rebellion. The streets were filled with despair, and the cries of the innocent echoed through the air. The rebellion had brought nothing but pain and sorrow to the once peaceful city. A wise woman, observing the unfolding tragedy from the city walls, knew she had to act. She could not stand idly by while her people suffered. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on her shoulders, and she felt a deep sense of duty to protect her city. Section 6. Wisdom's voice, a mother's plea. Her voice, filled with wisdom and compassion, resonated with those who heard it. She was not just a mother, but a leader, a beacon of hope in these dark times.
She appealed to his reason, his sense of justice. She spoke of the lives that could be saved, the future that could be secured if only he would listen. Her words were a plea for peace, a call to end the senseless violence. She approached Joab, her voice calm amidst the chaos. Her demeanor was composed, her resolve unshakable. She knew that this was her moment to make a difference, to change the course of events.
She reminded him that Abel Beth Maachah was a city of Israel, not an enemy to be destroyed. It was a place of heritage, of culture, and of innocent lives. Her words painted a picture of the city's significance, urging Joab to reconsider his actions.
She proposed a solution hand over Sheba, the cause of the conflict, and Joab would spare the city. Her proposal was a beacon of hope, a chance to end the bloodshed and restore peace. Sheba's rebellion had brought enough suffering, and it was time for it to end. Her plea was not just for her city, but for the future of all who lived within its walls.
Section 7. The Fall of Sheba, Justice and Its Price. The city elders, desperate to end the siege, agreed to the wise woman's proposal. They saw Sheba for what he was, a pretender who had brought only destruction. They seized him, ending his short-lived rebellion. Sheba's head was thrown over the city walls, a grim trophy for Joab.
The siege is lifted, Abel Beth Maachah is spared, but the cost of peace was high.
Sheba's rebellion, fueled by ambition and discontent, had ended in bloodshed. Section 8. Picking up the pieces, the aftermath of rebellion. With Sheba's rebellion crushed, David returned to a kingdom scarred but intact. The unity he had striven for remained elusive. The rebellion had exposed deep divisions within Israel.
I must find a way to bridge the divide between Judah and the rest of Israel, to heal the wounds of betrayal.
David, weary from battles both internal and external, faced the daunting task of rebuilding trust. The road to reconciliation would be long and arduous. Section 9. Echoes of Betrayal, the Lasting Impact. Sheba's rebellion, though short-lived, cast a long shadow over David's reign. This insurrection, though quickly quelled, left an indelible mark on the kingdom. It served as a stark reminder of the fragility of power, the fickleness of loyalty. The rebellion was not just a fleeting event, it was a significant test of David's leadership and his ability to maintain control over a diverse and often divided people. The rebellion had tested David's leadership, pushing him to the brink and forcing him to confront the harsh realities of ruling a kingdom. It also tested his faith in his people, revealing the underlying tensions and the potential for discord within his own ranks.
It has exposed the ruthlessness of those closest to me, like Joab, whose loyalty was a double-edged sword. Joab's actions, though intended to protect the kingdom, often crossed the line into brutality, who are willing to commit terrible acts in the name of loyalty. This ruthlessness was a stark reminder of the lengths to which some would go to secure their position and power.
The echoes of betrayal will continue to haunt David. The memory of Sheba's rebellion and the actions of those he trusted would linger, casting a shadow over his reign.
The rebellion had also exposed the ruthlessness of those closest to him, like Joab, whose actions were a constant reminder of the precarious nature of loyalty, who were willing to commit terrible acts in the name of loyalty. This willingness to betray and commit violence in the name of loyalty was a harsh reality that David had to face. The echoes of betrayal would continue to haunt David. The rebellion was a turning point, a moment that would forever shape his reign and his legacy. The lessons learned from this period would be etched into the annals of history, serving as a cautionary tale for future generations. Section 10. Lessons in Leadership, Navigating Treachery and Trust. The rebellion of Sheba offers timeless lessons in leadership. It highlights the importance of unity, the dangers of division, and the complexities of loyalty. David's story reminds us that even the most revered leaders are vulnerable to betrayal. It teaches us that leadership demands not only strength and wisdom, but also compassion and forgiveness. In the face of treachery, true leaders must strive to heal, to unite, and to rebuild.